Hey loves, my name is Iphannie and this is the Iphanniebgentle podcast. Happy freaking New Year. I am so grateful to have made it to the new year. So many people, young and old, did not make it, and unfortunately it was such a hard year for a lot of us to get through, but you made it through, I made it through, and we want to keep pushing forward for those people who did not make it through. This episode is going to be a little different because I don't have any talking points. I just kind of want to come on here and talk to you guys about what I have planned for the new year, for the podcast, for my YouTube channel, for life in general. I have been working so hard to achieve things that realistically I never thought I'd be able to achieve just because they weren't in my vision. But this year I wanted to be very clear about my intentions, not only for the podcast and the direction of the podcast, but also intentions for myself. Like, I have so many goals that I want to achieve, and I want to make sure that I'm being up forth and forthright with how I feel about what I want to achieve and how I'm going to get there. So the first thing I want to achieve for this podcast is being able to grow this podcast times 2. Now, I have quite a few listeners already, and I'm so thankful for each and every one of you guys, but I want to make sure that I'm very clear. I want to grow my podcast. I think it's so important that we talk about mental health. I think it's so important that we tackle topics such as like the culture, parenting, entrepreneurship, and just like any topics that are scarcely talked about within the community that is the Black community, that is the mental health community, that is the women community. These are topics that I feel should be talked about more because a lot of people kind of shy away from what their goals and their aspirations are in life. They feel like they need to gatekeep this information for some reason. And I don't think that gatekeeping necessarily means that you will prosper because you didn't help somebody else out in kind of following their dreams as well. So this year for this podcast, I want to double my audience. I want to make sure that I'm really taking the time to tackle topics that you guys want to talk about and really doing the research, because you can literally throw a rock and hit another podcast. And I don't want this to be just another podcast. I want this to be a podcast where you can come and you can really learn more about yourself, release anything that you have going on, and face your fears, because this podcast was actually a fear of mine. It was something that I wanted to do, but it was also a fear of mine because if you guys did not know, I have stage fright. I have severe stage fright. I have no idea where it came from. I've always performed, whether it be in sports or on the stage. I've always performed, and for some reason, the older I've gotten, I have gotten stage fright. I'm kind of becoming an introvert, which is weird for me because I've always been extroverted. My personality is very extroverted, but internally I have become an introvert, and this podcast is forcing me back out of my element, back out of like being afraid of speaking my mind and being respected for it. And so I want to tackle more topics that allow me to not only be seen but be heard and be understood, because it's one thing to be seen, it's another thing to be heard, but it's like the ultimate thing to be understood. And that is the goal for this podcast, to be understood, to not only be my voice but to be your voice as well. Also, I would love to grow my YouTube channel. I took a break from YouTube for quite some time because I was swamped, like super swamped with getting my psychology degree, and I wanted to just take a break, take a breather, reevaluate what was important to me, rebalance myself, and focus more so on how to get where I wanted to go, which was to the graduation stage. And luckily I was able to do that, and I have a great GPA, but you guys know I'm back in school. I'm back in school, and I'm tackling a whole other degree that has nothing to do with my psychology degree because I have an ultimate goal. And once I get closer to that goal, I will definitely let you guys know what that goal is. But I have a whole nother goal, and I want to be able to tackle the degree that I'm getting and get summa cum laude. I want to get a 4.0, and I am working my ass off to get it. I currently have a 4.0, and I plan on again, working my ass off to keep that 4.0, not only because it's important for me, but I think it's also going to set a precedence for my son. Like, he is in first grade and he's like, Mom, you're still in school? Like, you're old. And I don't know why kids always think that their parents are super old when they're not, but by the time I turn 30, I'll be graduating with this degree, and that'll be 2 degrees in less than 2 years. And I really want to achieve that. So I am going to be buckling down more on my podcast so that I can tackle these topics, but I also want to make sure that I'm staying focused in school. So if I miss a week for this new year, I don't plan on it, but if I do miss a week, please bear with me. I always upload, and it's a lot to take in with editing, with making sure I have everything that I want to talk about, my talking points, the research that I need to do with my podcast. And so I'm not just talking out the side of my ass. This is stuff I actually know what I'm talking about. So that is another goal. I want to grow my YouTube channel because I actually really enjoy filming my YouTube videos. They give me a sense of like me time, and I get to kind of get away, go in my little room, film or talk about whatever's on my mind. And whether that be like beauty related content or podcast related content, I still want to be able to upload frequently on my YouTube channel. I'm shooting for 2 videos a week, but you know, it's gonna be at least 1 video a week, at least. Okay, I am gonna hold myself to another standard because it has been a struggle to stay motivated, especially when things aren't growing or progressing the way that you expected them to or you wanted them to. But I know everything takes time, and I want to make sure that I am being conscious of the energy that I'm putting into my businesses and into my brand, and making sure that I achieve what I want to achieve, because I see all my friends flourishing in what they want to do. Some of them are struggling to get off the ground, and some of them are just like full on hitting the ground running. And I want to make sure that I'm in the race too. Okay, I want to make sure I'm in the race. This year I'll be 30. I will be 30 on November 20th. It'll also be the 2-year anniversary of my podcast. And I have goals and I have dreams and aspirations, and I want to reach them, and I will. And I will reach them because you guys will help me reach them. So that is the goal. If you guys did not know that I had a YouTube channel, I don't only record my podcast so you guys can listen to it, but I also record my podcast so you guys can see some videos I feel, or some topics I feel are better when you talk and you see what they're talking about, or you see the person talking, because for some reason I'm very animated with my face and just with my body language in general. So I've been told. And so, yeah, if you guys want to ever listen to my podcast but actually see, because I'm a visual learner, I like to see what and who is talking, you guys can head over to my YouTube channel at Iphanniebgentle and check that out if you guys are interested. Also, this year I plan on growing my business exponentially. Like, I want to make sure that Gentle Beauty is not just where it is right now. I need it to grow a lot more. I'm working on some things, and it's a lot to juggle all of this, plus going to school, plus being a full-time mom, plus making sure that I'm spending time with my child, and I'm making sure that he's good emotionally, mentally, and physically, as well as making sure that I'm stable, like mentally stable. Because listen, it's a lot. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but when you are married to someone who is in a career field where they're away from home a lot, it is a lot on not only you, but on your child. And you become kind of like a single parent. You might be married, you might be engaged, you might just be in a relationship, but you become kind of like a single parent because everything falls on you. Like, you are reading them a book, taking them, like, you know, putting them to bed, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're doing school meetings, you're answering all the if, what's, whys, how come questions, any and everything. Like, you're at their beck and call. And so it is a lot. It is a lot to run a whole household by yourself, especially if you're so accustomed to doing it with your partner. But this year I really want to focus on being able to balance myself and just grounding myself and making sure that I am giving myself positive affirmations. I know a lot of times I'm just always on go, 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 and I don't really give myself the credit that I deserve. So this year I plan on giving myself the credit that I deserve. This year I plan on speaking positivity into my life, not being a negative Nancy, making sure that I'm pushing everything forward, and I'm happy about where I am in life. That is a really hard goal for me to accomplish, just because there's just been a lot of shit going on in my life recently, and I just want to make sure that I'm not putting my negative energy off on you guys, or I don't come on my podcast or my YouTube channel and give you guys half-assness. I want to make sure I'm giving you guys my full attention and being 100% honest, and just making sure that I am channeling who I am into each project that I take on. Another thing that I want to focus on is not taking on too much. Now, I know I said a lot just now. I said that I wanted to focus on a whole bunch of stuff, and I wanted to push forward and prevail and make sure I have X, Y, and Z taken care of, and I'm, uploading frequently and all that good stuff. But I also want to make sure that I have time to just sit back and enjoy myself. I don't do that often. Like I said, I'm turning 30 this year, and I really want to go out of the country for my 30th and just reset. However, my 30th birthday is going to be in the middle of my final semester, and so I would have to go come this summer. And it's a lot. It is a lot financially. It is a lot to kind of like set everything up. It is a lot. So I want to make sure that I am focused on one thing at a time, and I'm tackling them, and I'm moving on to the next one. I'm not sitting there and, oh, I should have did this. Oh, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be a shoulda, coulda, woulda person. I want to been like, I did that. I achieved it, and I'm going to keep on achieving my goals. And I want you guys to do the same thing as well, especially because life is too freaking short. It's too short. This year has taught me life is too short, and you can no longer allow the if, ands, or buts to control your life. You can't do it. I can't do it anymore. You guys shouldn't do it anymore either. I want all of us who are gentle giants, because that's what I call you guys. We go through so much, and some of us do it with more grace than others, because, child, sometimes I'm just not graceful, okay? But I want us all to really live our life to the fullest, because tomorrow is not promised. And if this year has taught us anything, it has taught us that tomorrow you can be gone. And then what? And so I want to make sure that I'm always pushing forward, and I'm always achieving and accomplishing the things that I set forth for myself. Another goal that I have for this year is to get in shape. Now, I have been setting this goal for myself quite a few times, and with anxiety and depression and a whole bunch of other life circumstances, it has been hard. It has been very, very hard. It's something that I don't talk about often, just because it kind of puts me in a bad mood. But I want to look at not really my weight, but just like my goal of being healthy as a positive thing and tackle it. Like, it just got to get done, okay? By 30, I want to be comfortable in a bikini. By 30, I want to be happy and feel like beautiful about myself. I don't feel like I'm ugly, because, child, I am not ugly, okay? But I don't feel like I am where I want to be, and by 30, I need to be that, okay? By 30, your girl need to be snatched, at least on my way there, okay? And so I've already made like one really big step, which was bringing my treadmill in from the garage. I moved my treadmill into my garage during the summertime, because I was like, oh, while Chandler plays outside, I can be in the garage and I can be on the treadmill. Child, it was triple digits all summer. We didn't get a double digit summer, not one day. And I did not have time to be out there literally about to pass out every single time I looked at the treadmill, much less got on it. So I brought that shit back in the house, okay? It's back in the house, and I plan on getting my ass on that treadmill every single day and doing something towards my physical health so that my mental health can be better, so that my spiritual health can be better, so my emotional health can be better. And I encourage everyone to do the same thing. It's not always about, oh, you're going to look so much better, or, oh, you're not going to look that good because you lost all this weight. No, it's about being mentally and emotionally better. And I feel like once I kind of get my body where I need it to be, everything else will kind of round itself out. And so that is my goal for 2023. In 2023, your girl is going to be fit. In 2023, your girl is going to be mentally happy, emotionally happy, physically happy. In 2023, I'm going to skyrocket with my podcast. In 2023, I'm going to skyrocket with Gentle Beauty. In 2023, I'm going to skyrocket with my YouTube channel. And in 2023, I'm going to keep pushing forward, and I'm going to get my 4.0 and maintain it throughout the next 2 semesters, and I'm going to be summa cum laude. So I want this podcast to grow, and I want this podcast to encourage everyone to do the same. The next year, it's literally January 1st. So I don't give a damn what happened last year. I don't care what happened yesterday, because yesterday was a whole year ago, okay? Yesterday was a whole nother year. This is a new year, and we're going to push ourselves to be better. We're going to push ourselves to achieve our greatness, and we're going to stop putting ourselves down because others are doing it, and we're going to stop putting ourselves down because we don't think that highly of ourselves. We're going to have a positive mindset for 2023, and we're going to continue to grow and continue to face our dreams and tackle them head on and grow, and make sure that no matter what we do, we achieve it with a smile on our face. No matter how much mud we got to go through, no matter how or who tries to bring us down, we're going to achieve what we want to achieve in 2023. And so, Happy New Year, you guys. I hope and pray that you guys had a really great New Year. And even if you didn't, okay, even if you didn't, that was yesterday, and today is a whole nother day, and we're going to continue to push forward and prevail, and ain't nobody going to hold us back. We're going to let go of all that dead weight, all the stress, all the drama, all the bullshit people in our lives that say they're going to do stuff and don't do it, all the people that say they love us and prove that they don't love us through their actions, and all the people who continuously put us down because they don't feel good about themselves. We're going to let all that shit go, okay? This is a whole new year. You're day one now. You're a day one now. It doesn't matter what those people were saying about you. We're going to keep on pushing forward. This is not only going to be my positivity speech, this is going to be your positivity speech too. Keep on pushing forward. Thank you guys so much for always tapping in with me. I really appreciate it. Sometimes I feel like I'm talking to myself, but then I realize when you guys reach out to me, you're like, hey, I feel like this, or hey, this is what I'm going through. What do you think I should do? I'm like, you know what? I do give pretty good advice. And for 2023, I want to continue to do that. So thank you guys so much for this episode and for tapping in with me. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Iphanniebgentle podcast, episode after episode, referring people, recommending people, sharing my podcast. I get all the alerts, and I'm super, super grateful for you guys. And I wish nothing but the best for you guys, and nothing but light, love, and a trauma-free future. This year will be our best year yet. I love you guys, and I will see you guys in my next episode. Besitos.